Okay, so I'm trying to get a good picture setting for this area. You should be able to see right here in the carpet there's some white goop. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and this isn't part of the process really. I'm just trying to hook my buddy up. He works a lot of wild hours. He has a beautiful car, and I want to try and help him preserve it as much as possible. There's also something going on over here along this ridge on this little brace right here for the seat and a couple other spots. So I'm just going to hit it with some Jax Wax carpet and fabric cleaner and a rotary drill brush. This is the really soft bristles. There's also I have one that's like a moderate stiffness and then one that's pretty hard. So this carpet is pretty plush. I want to start with the softest head possible. And then once we get done with that, I'm going to extract it and we'll see kind of what it looks like afterwards. So here goes nothing. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but there was some white goop right here. Looked like some melted candy or something to that effect. And as well as around this knob, but the little floor mat stabilizer. So what's great about this is you can obviously tell, yes, this carpet is still a little bit damp, so some of the darkness of this side can be attributed to being just a little bit damp. I gotta say that I'm very impressed with the Bissell Spot Clean Pro. Pretty impressed with this little guy. I know a lot of people use it. I don't have a need for a big expensive machine, so between the drill brush and this guy, and then obviously the Jax Wax carpet and fabric cleaner, I'm pretty happy. Now what I will say is this is pretty concentrated, pretty strong. You might be able to get away with diluting it. I just use it straight up. I think it's best to do that and give it all that cleaning bite and everything. But what I'm going to do from here is go ahead and knock out this forward section in the footwell and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so costume change, had to go run some errands. Old clothes were all sweaty and nasty. So got some Plasti Dip that's been sitting off camera in a bucket of warm water. This is typically, from what I've experienced, from what I've talked to other people, the best approach to getting Plasti Dip to lay down with minimal to no distortion or orange peel, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down the first coat. If you didn't know, with Plasti Dip, first coat you want like 50% coverage, so you're still gonna see some of the silver from the wheels under the Plasti Dip. Let it sit for about probably 10 to 15 minutes. Come back, do another coat, get a little bit more coverage. 2 lighter coats, and then you can start laying it on a little thicker, a little heavier. That's typically the best approach. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, y'all. So I kind of goofed. Thought I hit record, but I didn't. So the wheels are done. I think they look great. We did 5 total coats, so 2 tack coats and then 3 full wet coats. I'll try to link one of the DYC videos about wheels, you know, and the whole process. That's all I followed. Now, these don't look perfect because there were a lot of blemishes and issues with the wheels themselves. But all I've got to do now is peel the overspray from the wheels or from the tires. But we got good coverage front and back in the actual barrel of the wheel, and then on the face of the wheel. I did take out the centerpieces. Did that for a couple of reasons. I want to take these and put them back in. So just a little easy pop them in so you can kind of see what that's going to look like. I think that's going to pop really nice. I'm going to leave them like this, send a picture to the owner and see what he thinks. He may end up wanting to go ahead and black these out, which that's fine. I used 4.5 cans on these wheels, but you got to think I also did barrels as well, so you may not use as much. But anyway, not to eat up all the time in this video about the wheels, I just wanted to address this because I don't think I've ever done a full-blown video about dipping wheels. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, let me know down in the comments below and we can do a you know, straight up just dipping wheels video. I'm happy to do that, but let me know what you think, and we'll hop over the next time we talk. We'll be doing the wrap on the Merc. So thanks, y'all. Okay, so hopefully, let's see. I got the camera a little bit crooked. Okay, so we've gotten the wheels done, deconned the car. I know I've missed bits and pieces of that. Just real quick, what I like to use when I do the initial wash for doing a wrap or a detail or something like that is the Obsessed Garage Decon Wash. I think it works really, really well. I do have the new Jax Wax Strip Wash, which I have yet to try. Trying to use up the rest of my OG Decon Wash before I move on. I just like to complete things before trying something new most of the time. With that being said, getting ready to go ahead and start on this wrap. I'm not exactly sure why I do this. I think it's subconscious, but I like to start with the hood most of the time. Gives me a good feel for the curvature and the body lines. Even on a big hood like this, what's nice is you've got this center line and a couple of body lines here, and I like this little drop down right here. I think that's pretty cool. Got the emblem removed. When we finish up, I'll try to remember to show you how the emblem comes off on this Mercedes. I think it's actually pretty simple. But other than that, like I said, I'll interject from time to time, but overall I just want to do a time lapse because I know this video is already going to be a little bit longer, but I'm trying to hit a few different things and really give you a lot of context and a lot of bang for your buck. If you don't like the longer videos, if you want me to keep things short, sweet, and to the point, let me know and I'll try and do that as well. But any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Like I said before, I'll probably hit that a few more times, show you a few of the disassembly things that maybe are a little bit more intricate. But other than that, thanks for watching, and let's wrap this hood. right, guys. So, obviously we have the quarter panel and the hood done and this mirror done. Now we're going to do the A-pillar up along the roof trim and then back down to the rear quarter panel. What's interesting about this one is there's no break right here. Normally, well, in some vehicles, there's like a seam kind of like between the quarter panel and the bumper. But there's not, so it goes all the way down here. Some cars have that, some don't. Tail lights out. So we will, you know, go right up in here to make our cut. Come around, hit that corner up here. Also, what's cool is, obviously it's a black car. I don't have my light, but right down in here, there's no like rubber trim or anything that you can really see. So I've taped off where the window is just to give me the ability to work the material down here. So we'll hit this corner and then feed the material back this way. And same thing with this corner. Now the trim pieces that go all the way along the roof line, they sit pretty high up in this recess. So, you know, that panel is flush when it's in. So you don't really need to tuck too far down in here. I think some Nissans are similar in that respect, but I'm still gonna try and get deep coverage on this corner, and then, you know, we'll worry about cutting the material later. One thing I wanted to talk about is the Knifeless Tape. Obviously we have that set up all the way in, and I'm going pretty deep in here only because there's a nice little bevel right here in the body panel. So I just kind of lined up with that, fed it outwards because I don't want to wrap super deep in here. There's really no need to. The only part you can really see is this little lip right here. I don't know if you can tell the D-tint, but it, you know, the panel goes up, in, and then there's like a little bump right here. You can see this area when the door is shut. So when this is like this, you can kind of see in between this door panel. And it's not a huge deal because it's a black car, but just good general practice is going to be to go to the top side of that lip all the way down. And then we'll hit these corners. And it's the same. If that feeds all the way along here down to this point. Okay, so obviously we're gonna hit this corner up here, and again that trim piece comes almost all the way flush with this panel, so we don't need to wrap too deep. These little brackets right here are gonna pretty much be my cutoff, so you know, about 1/4 of an inch all the way up. Sorry, hopefully that's not too close. But that channel, I've got to clean that up a little bit more, but we'll knock that out and then come in. One thing that's a little concerning, make sure you can see this, is that little dried paint or something, but it's very, very sharp. Let's see if I can give you a better perspective. So you can see that little horn right there. So we're gonna have to kind of manage that. But again, that trim piece comes flush all the way right here. So it's really nice for this corner. Sorry, it's really nice for this corner that that trim piece sits flush right here above that little horn. So we'll get a nice little tuck in here, but we're not gonna worry about going super, super deep. So, all right, we'll get a little time lapse and go from there. And it's going to be obviously the same thing for the other side. So I'm pretty much just going to do time lapses on a lot of this stuff, but try and talk you through a few things as well. Hopefully that works out. Okay. All right, y'all. So, getting ready to do the top of the trunk. We did the lower section last night, and you can see this silver trim piece here, which we're gonna dip black. But right up under here, and I'll get a little better shot of up underneath here. But there's a nice little panel break underneath that lets us just feed the material in. Really no sense in pulling this whole piece off, trying to wrap and everything else, at least not in my opinion. Really great thing that I wish more manufacturers did with their badges. Okay, you can see over here, hopefully you can see that. I'll get a closer view. But these are adhesive. With this, they actually cut holes in the panel and they give you a badge. What I don't like about the badge is the fact that, of course, it's plastic. It's just a piece of plastic. So that's frustrating. But more importantly, taking this off. So it's on there. What I did is, if you can see right up under here, hopefully, there's these little white grommets that go on there. Those are what apply the pressure to hold the badge in. So I took a plastic paint scraper, you know, nothing crazy, not metal, obviously, because we gouged the paint. But what I did is, this was sitting here like so, slid it underneath, and then I took one of my plastic narrow pry tools, fed it behind it, and then rocked it back and forth like that. And then just easily did that, worked my way all the way around to the 3 touch points, and got it out without breaking it. Didn't really bend it from what I can tell. So we'll look once we get it put back on. But this is going to get dipped black as well. I know that you can probably find these on Amazon or eBay or something like that that are already blacked out, but we're just going to go ahead and do it for continuity's sake. And then on the adhesive, a little drill, and this is a 3M adhesive remover wheel thing. I bought it a few years ago for like 30 bucks. So yeah, it's a little expensive for a little piece of wax or whatever this is made of. But it works amazing, and it really doesn't wear down all that much. I think when I first bought it, it was probably sticking up another ½ inch or so. So I've probably used 40% of it, 30 to 40% of it. But over a couple of years, that's a good investment. So with that, I'm going to knock that out on the part of the time lapse. We'll get everything dusted off, because this does kind of spit out little, not dust, but little fragments of the wheel as it's peeling off the adhesive. And then we'll go ahead and get this wrapped. So pretty quick, down and dirty, nothing too crazy. Little badge removal on the Mercedes, so that's cool.